Greetings, Dungeon Delvers, and welcome to yet another exciting chapter of Descent into the Void, a tale of D20s. Before we begin, I would like to make an announcement. Due to unexpected life events, Dan, the player of Silmith the Aarakocra Monk, will no longer be in this campaign. We wish him the best and hope everything works out for him in the future. Also, Lewis, who plays Horatio, could not make it to this session and will be communicating Horatio's thoughts and actions through Discord text, and I, as the Tale Weaver, will be playing both characters. So without further ado, let's remove the bookmark and continue our epic tale.
Gather round. Let me tell you a tale of life and death, of joy and sorrow, a tale of D20s!
Last time, Liberators, you made your way to Arawatch with the caravan belongings and met the quest giver, Ray the Adjudicator. During your interaction with her, you discovered that she was really a shape changer named Deja Vu, who worked for the Dark King of the Dark Kingdom. Using a strange unknown power, Deja Vu transformed into a red and black armor dripping with chaotic energy and then attacked you. During the battle, it was discovered that magic was not effective against Deja Vu, but Duran's magnetic sword was. Using the power of the blade and the momentum of the last battle, Duran unlocked a new power inside, enabling him to walk on air and strike with the speed of the wind. You were able to take down this dark foe, and discover through interrogation that the Dark King was trying to collect Heaven's Dew and crystals to corrupt them and corrupt the symphony, and make it play backwards, a dark song that apparently would release him and unleash his true form. You also found out that this power came from an old form of energy known as Chaos, and that the armor that Deja Vu was wearing was called Chaotech. Horatio went into the library to learn more about Gaia and the New Gods, and find out that Gaia looked exactly like his mother, Susan Kane. Meeting back up for dinner, you all discussed your ideals, and Horatio looked within Hootie's eyes to see what was going on at the Temple of Nyx, and discovered that it was under siege by Doramo and Duran's warband. Dorama held what seemed to be a mystical metal shard in his hand and used a dark power similar to the chaos you had witnessed before to knock out the daimyo cold before disappearing into a black pool, claiming that they will find the next shard that was stolen from them that happens to be on your person. So, Liberators, stuck in Arawatch at the moment, you're told these events by Horatio and are in shock and horror. What do you do next?
Duran, do you think they will come for us? Do you think they know where we are?
Duran kind of just shakes with fury after having the scene explained to him by Wizard Horatio. He's going to grab his blade and start walking towards Deja Vu.
Minako seems to be in shock from the news and doesn't say it.
Deja Vu lies there, still bound and gagged, unmoving on the ground, though looking up at you as you walk towards them.
We destroyed the ruby crystals that were preventing magic in this room, correct?
Yeah, you're no longer in that room. You're in the kitchen or in the dining area.
Oh, that's right.
Duran's going to use his blade to kind of ungag Deja Vu and grab them by the scruff of their neck. Did you know about this?
Oh, hello there, big boy. No need to be so rough. Finally, able to stretch out these chops. Know about what?
Did you all use this as a distraction, working with Doramu?
I haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about. Who?
Insight. Do I believe her that she doesn't know who Doramo is?
Alright, roll an insight check against them. 23. They turn to you, pick up from them that they are definitely hiding something. They're not letting it all the information out. They turn to you, staring at them intently. What? You don't believe me?
Liar!
Duran backhands Deja Vu.
As you backhand them, slap them across the face, they kind of turn and spit with a little bit of blood had come out and on the ground, and looking up at you with a little busted lip. Wow, you really know how to treat a person. I told you, I don't know who this Doramo is, or what's going on with whatever you're talking about. I mean, if you let me go, I could give you some useful information, but currently tied here, I really can't remember anything.
I would rather watch you die than let you go and plot from the dark in the distance, now knowing who we are and what we're capable of.
These enemies collude against us, and by distracting us, they disperse us, using as a weapon to pick us all off when it's simple and convenient. This is no longer just a battle. This is war. I say we end their lives here and now.
Judgment has been made.
Are you sure we should be doing this?
Speak now, or forever hold your peace. Give us a reason to spare their life. They've done nothing but cause harm and deceit.
I actually pull out a revolver and pull back the hammer, pointing it at them. I'll be the first to help them along in their journey, but we need to find out everything they know first. We can't go in blind.
He's really dead? That's... If they had anything to do with this...
Stop. If he's not gone. And even if he is, we still have a chance to save him. It is not too late.
I have had enough of this. They still sit here as a distraction and a menace. We end them now and we return back to do what we can to help those at the scene of the battle.
I nod towards Duran.
I look over at them, and after looking at my companions and their assuredness for the next step, I want to make it clear, if you have anything that can save yourself, now is the chance to do it. Otherwise, any last words?
Whoa. I think we're getting a little out of hand here. I told you everything I've known, and I was willing to tell you even more that I think you might find useful if you just let me go. How do I know you're not just going to kill me after I tell you the information?
They're responsible.
They turn and look at you all and say, Fine. There's an ancient, chaotic proverb for this that I think you'd be willing to hear, you want to hear. And they take a deep breath and they say,
Duran is going to strike them during this. Whatever this noise is coming from their mouth, Duran is going to have no more of it. No more of these games.
And as they are speaking, are you striking them with your blade, with your hand, like an intent to kill?
With my blade, with an intent to kill.
Okay. You go ahead and, as they're saying it, you raise back the magnetic blade, slashing down onto them, and they say, and it's silent, and you feel that you've cut through their flesh, and then you see their form just into shadow and dust. So all you're holding at this point is just rope and the gag that you had used. Coming from the distance at the other end of the hall, you hear, well, you can't say I didn't try. Next time you want to bound and gag someone up, don't leave them enough time to...
I start firing.
Okay, roll an attack. Okay, 17.
Yes.
You fire your shot, and it goes towards them. They nimbly leap out the way, going from behind the doorway. As you remember, you walked into the large hall that is the dining hall, and around the corner was where the library and things are, and in that direction is where they jump to, and you hear, ta-ta for now, tell the daimyo I said hello.
I'm gonna start chasing after them, trying to catch up. Let's go, we don't have time!
Did they jump out of the window, like of the building?
No, they went out the door and went to the right, so you have to run down the hall.
Okay.
And chase them
let's
if you wish.
Chase them.
Yeah, we chase. Everyone gives chase, I assume.
Okay. Running down the dining room hallway, turning around the corner of the large metal doors that you had went through before, you look left and right and see nothing but specks of dust and shadow kind of dissipating into the air.
This is my fault. I should have judged them sooner. When we had them first in the chamber above, we should have ended them.
Damn it!
I faltered twice now.
It's not your fault. We should have all been paying closer attention. Should we start heading back? Should we grab Clem, make sure he comes back with us as a witness?
I have the ability to get us back quicker, but I do not know how to do it yet. I need to pray and spend a night.
This is frustrating. How can we sit here?
They still do not have the crystals, and that was the aim of their mission. We've stopped that much.
You're right.
That is one good thing.
Aren't they going to be coming for us?
Well,
Good.
we can leave this premise if we think so. I just need a night's rest. So whether we choose to go or stay, tomorrow I can bring us quicker to where we need to be.
Honestly, I think we should stay. This is the most defensible position. Look how high up we are. We can see anyone coming.
Is there a religious region inside this where they might have a stockade of candles or incense and things like that? Like a temple inside this area?
You can take some time to check it out. You're not really familiar on how Airwatch is. The schematics of Airwatch, but you can look around if you want to, spend some time.
Okay.
We know there's at least a library because that's where Horatio went before.
Correct.
All right. If you think we should stay here, then let's do it.
I mean, it's either we stay here where we have the high ground, or we start making our way to then... King, do you have some sort of magic that can transport us? Some transportation magic of some sort?
I know of such magics, and I believe I am capable of it, but not today. I have faith I will be able to bring us where we need to tomorrow.
Then, yes, I think staying here is the most defensible position. Otherwise, we'll be in the wild, and who knows if someone has an advantage then, and we're not in any kind of home turf.
That is correct. Horatio, what time of day is it?
You look over Horatio, and he still looks shocked, peeking in and out of Hootie's eyes. He snaps back into reality and says, it is about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the evening.
Okay, I think we should stay too.
All right, then let's get all the entrances taken care of to make sure no one can sneak in on us.
How long do we have before?
For what?
Well, are they just? I mean, if they're gonna walk here, ride here, it'll take them a couple days, right?
Correct, but I don't know if there's anyone nearby.
Maybe we should send word to someone. Maybe we could get someone to come help.
We are not strong enough on our own to fight them. We could not even stop Deja Vu from escaping.
Do you know anyone on this level that we could reach out to?
I don't know anyone close.
There must be some seekers still who could aid us.
No, we cannot give up. Wizard Horatio, pull out your compass. Maybe there's a seeker station nearby.
He's like, I can. You guys have compasses too, but he pulls out his compass and looks at it, circles around for a bit, and says, it's pointing west, due west.
That's exactly at the Seekers Guild in Frostmoor.
Let's start setting up defenses. I guess if we have to. She looks down and kind of scattered, and she says, do you think there's a temple here?
I can help you find one. We're gonna need materials to board up the doors anyways, to secure them.
I know something that might be able to help protect us against any more of the demons coming in. Some additional protection. I hope it's enough.
That would be awesome. That would be amazing.
I can also ask the land to help as well. I'm going to fortify the ground around the castle, so that way if they come by foot, they'll be slowed and giving us extra time to hit them while they're at range.
Of all the things I've seen you do, King, I think we have it.
Thanks for your confidence. I think we have a chance too. I'm going to get on Chastifold and then fly out the window and cast plant growth a few times around the base of the entrance of the castle to channel the vitality into the plants and have them grow and become extra overgrown and thick, and creatures that move through it have to expend extra movement to get through it. So I'm going to create these large, thick brambles with spines and thorns that sort of wrap around the base of the castle, sort of Maleficent style from Sleeping Beauty.
Duran is going to kind of is the window low enough that Duran can climb up to it? Because what I'd like Duran to do is kind of climb out the window and kind of scout with King.
Well, the windows around you inside the dining hall are large. They are quite high. You'll probably need to do a long jump, but someone with your prowess should be able to kind of jump up there and reach.
If there's a check that I need to roll for that Dungeon Master, I'll make that check.
Yeah, roll me an athletics check. 21. Okay, so King, you fly up and go towards the window and begin to cast your plant growth, causing a maze-like structure to appear, full of thorns and brambles. It lifts up going 5, 10, 15 feet, making a barrier of thicket and bush and thorns around the citadel. And it continues to go over and over, 100 feet back. For what you think, from what you can see, it looks pretty secure. Nothing's going to be able to get in and out, at least without your knowledge. at least not without your knowledge. Duran, you thrust yourself up, easily making it to the top of the window. Looking forth, you see King casting this ability. What do you want to do?
Cousin, please do not travel too far from here. The enemy is afoot, and we do not have our rings to communicate with each other. We should not split up.
Do not worry, I will be back shortly. I will even stay within your gaze. I am simply just causing the land to aid us. It should only take me 10 minutes tops, and then I will be back. Do you wish to accompany?
Duran nods.
I'll fly closer to have him leap onto Chastifold, and then I'll continue my other casts.
Awesome. Duran kind of hops on Chastifold and sits on the back of it, kind of like the kind of legs out, hands down, Spider-Man pose on the back of Chastifold. And I want to kind of look over and gaze around and see if I see any threats looming in the distance.
All right, you jump on gracefully to Chastifold, take your pose, and with your dexterous self, you're able to balance. And with a combined magic control that King has of Chastifold, you all fly around. Roll me a perception check at advantage. 21. Surveying the area, you see, well, nothing but the trees and the plants that King has grown. Seems quiet, eerily so quiet. No animals, not even the howling of the demons that you normally hear throughout your travels.
Cousin, it is oddly quiet. Nothing stirs in the forest, neither predator nor prey.
It is the calm before the storm. I think that things will get worse in days to come. Enjoy this moment respite.
Cousin, is there anything that your Maliki or Nyx or any of the gods can do to save us, to help us right now? In this time, I do not know who or what I can rely on other than you, cousin.
I think we can rely on each other. We are stronger together, and we are smart. This land is tainted with demons, but we have allies. They are scattered, but I think if we regroup, stay smart, we can overcome these foes. And I think you're right. We should, before bed, I think all of us should offer prayers and thanks. I know that sometimes it goes over not so well with everybody, but in these dark times, I almost think that the veil is thinner and it's easier for the gods to break through when demon havoc is in the land. Maybe they feel more compelled to intervene, but it is worth a shot. Let us pray tonight and see what Nyx offers us, and maybe she grants us her blanket this evening and covers us from evil.
Cousin, I do not know about the gods. It all confuses me so much. But when I heard of the power of these artifacts that Doramu and my warband used, I thought I was shaking with fury, but cousin, I'm afraid.
If it shakes you, then it shakes me. I believe you. These weapons seem treacherous, and I don't even know what they can do, but we will need to work on it. We can potentially harness their power for good. What was the prophecy? It said that there were two ways that this could go. We need to will it in the way that we want it to. We can be scared, but we cannot falter. We should not. We can bend, but we will not break. I am scared too, but we will charge forward together.
Dran is silent, and he still you can probably still feel the vibrations of him shaking while he's holding Chastifold in the back of your broom.
I will reach back, or I'll pause for a second, and I'll just have us fly afloat, and I'll shift myself so I'm facing Doran, and I'll put my hand on your chest, and I'll say, steel yourself. You are one of the strongest men I know. You will get through this, and you will save all of those you hold dear. I will be a rock when you need it, as I know you are mine.
Doran kind of stops shivering, regains his breathing, and looks King in the eyes. Thank you, cousin. I have forgotten myself. I will be a rock for you. We will get out of this, and we will stop them and their dark master. I will not fail you.
I'm just staring deeply into your eyes and seeing the conviction in your soul. I know you will. And I'm going to awkwardly lean back and, not fall off of Chastifold because I'm skilled, but just sort of push into a hug and a long embrace to just be together. And I'll hold him for a minute or two. And then I'll say, we'll get through this. Let's finish these fortifications and then get back to the group. And I'll continue flying, willing Chastifold to fly forward. And I'll start chanting in Sylvan and finish the last of the brambles before taking us back into the castle.
All right. So after speaking to each other and expressing your feelings and concerns, you fly back towards the castle, sure that the perimeter is clear and danger is not afoot, at least not yet. Cal, Monaco, we'll start with Cal. What are you doing?
I am exploring this tower, looking for a temple of some sort. I go down to the entrance area because I remember there were the large statues, and I'm going to look around, see if there's any side rooms or areas that would maybe be kind of like a chapel or a small temple with an altar somewhere. And I'm just kind of like looking around with Minako as we explore the rest of the tower.
All right. And Monaco, is there anything specific you're doing or just joining as well?
Yeah, she's just specifically looking for incense, herbs, oils, and other things that would help her with the spell she's trying to get together. She does express to Cal, that she's her faith is wavering a bit. If they could do that to the daimyo, how could we ever hope possessed?
Well, I think that not all is as it appears to be. And I think that even the daimyo can be surprised and caught off guard with certain amounts of people acting behind everyone's back. I mean, I don't know how exactly we're going to do it, but we're going to have to help him. We have to get back there, right? And then we have to find him and explain to him everything that happened here and how somehow it seems like it's all connected.
Connected, maybe. If it is, it's an attack on our people, and it's just so much death that I don't think that we could possibly handle something like this. I mean, all of Aerowatch is gone, and the daimyo has been killed, and all.
We don't know if he's been killed.
She kind of gives you this sad look and says, I hope you're right.
We have to have hope from within ourselves, and that will carry us, all of us, when it doesn't look like things are working right, or that when everyone else has no hope. It's people like us. We're seekers. We are the reason that we're part of the reason, anyways. Why all peoples have explored and expanded in every level. We have to have hope for everyone else when they don't.
She kind of says something, mutters it, and then looks away for a second before looking back up at you, and then just says, "You're so brave."
Hey, I'm not necessarily brave, but I have to believe that with all this death, all this chaos and destruction, that there is an equal, if not greater, force of life and creation and order to things.
I hope you're right.
Roll me a investigation check, either one of you, but since you're helping each other out, at advantage.
Investigation, right?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
So a 6. You begin to look around this dusty hallway, go through the doors, and there's tons of artist depictions of the gods, the new gods that you recognize, each of them as you pass by. Open up each door, you find a pantry, a sleeping area, a weapons quarter that has been completely cleaned out, but unable to find anything, unfortunately, for about, let's say, an hour, until you finally are able to open up a doorway that leads to what seems to be a chapel with pews, and the goddess Nyx, in her grace, standing with her arms stretched out, releasing some type of blanket of darkness in the statue, all the way at the end of the hallway, or of the room. There are stained glass windows to the left and to the right, giving a strange kaleidoscope effect to the room as the little bit of light that's coming from the outside shines in.
Well, Monaco, looks like we found it. What were you looking for?
I need to find incense, oils, herbs. I know a spell, but it requires a lot of components. I thought maybe there could be a stockade here for it.
Well, let's look around. Maybe there's a supply closet somewhere at the other end of the room, or are there any closed doors or hallways on the sides of the walls that we can see as we enter the large room with the pews?
As you enter in, you look to your left and your right, you do see there are 4 closets, or 4 doors that possibly lead to a closet. You're not sure at this point, but 2 at the far left and right of immediately when you enter in, and at the far end, on the opposite ends of the goddess statue, there are 2 more.
Okay. Monako, keep your guard whenever you're opening these doors. Who knows? There could be somebody trying to hide out here.
Wait, hold on. Let's take a second. She just goes up to the statues and offers a small before checking out one of the doors.
I'll follow and kind of do the same thing.
Making your prayers after walking up past the dusty pews, you are cast in a strange chromatic light coming from the stained glass windows. Bowing your head and making your prayers towards Nyx, it's almost as if you can feel her there with you. After giving your prayers and your thanks to her, which door would you like to go? So now that you've passed the first 2, are you going to the ones to the left of her or to the right of her?
The left.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. You walk up to the left door and open it. It's a wooden door with a metal handle. It's easy to pry open, albeit it was a little stuck. And after a good pull, you see a bunch of cleaning utensils and brooms and other types of tools fall on top of you. It falls on you, and it hurts a little bit because they're quite heavy, but then they do land onto the ground, making a crashing, banging sound that echoes throughout the chamber.
Well, not this one. Let's try the one on the right.
Heading towards the one on the right, you open that one up. It's easier to open, and in it you do see a stockpile of religious items such as incense, candles, holy water, another plethora of things used in religious ceremony.
Bingo.
With this, now all I have to do is actually cast it, which only takes about, and she pulls out her little book and looks at it and flips around, puts it back on her hip, and then frowns and says, well, maybe about a day.
A day?
I'm going to bless the tower. Come on, give me a hand. And she starts just like scooping up as much as she can of the little things, or like she kind of goes in and evaluates to make sure that there's which ones to take and things like that. But begins her plans to lay the candles out and ignite all the performer prayer.
Can I grab some of the holy water as well?
Sure, there's about 4 vials of holy water. I'm not sure how much Monako needs to use in her ritual, but you can grab some as well.
Monako, how many of these do you need?
Well, I might need... Well, I'm going to need most of what's in this closet just to cast once. But we might be able to let you have some of the holy water. It's going to be a lot, and it's going to stink in here. But, like, incense, so it'll be fine.
Ah, well, that's fine then. If it's anything like you're cooking. Here, take as much as you need, and if there's any holy water left over, I'd love to use some to cleanse my revolvers. I'm still trying to figure out this set of numbers that appeared on my revolvers.
Numbers?
Yes. There's a 7, a 13, a 48, and a 22.
Oh,
And I kind of show her. It is, and it happened after dealing with deja vu. I think it has something to do with the chaos.
She's just going to examine it a little bit. Would she know anything about that?
You have no idea. These seems to be random numbers to you. They might go to something or signify something. You're not sure.
Well, whoever made the gun probably made that many of them, right?
Maybe. It's just strange that after interacting with the chaos, it appeared. And I'm wondering if maybe it has something to do with maybe unlocking something, or...
Oh,
I'm not sure.
She kind of holds it out for you to give it back. Like she holds it like just by the handle, like she's afraid of it.
I'll take it back and I'll put it in the holster. It's like I really need to figure this out. It's not like I got a set of instructions when I got these.
Maybe Horatio would know. He's always looking things up and spending time. He's so smart.
That might not be a bad idea. I can take it up with him.
Anyway, could you give me a hand with these? I'm not sure I'll be able to carry all these crates by myself.
Yeah, of course. And I help you set up for your ritual.
And she will begin to cast the Hallow spell Well, I suppose we should talk about where are we fortifying?
I can work on that. If you need, quiet and silence to focus on this seems pretty important, and at least I can make myself useful getting the barricades up. I saw some tables when we were going through the weapons area, and I should be able to pull some of those over towards the front entrance and kind of barricade the doors a little bit.
Okay, let's get started. There's no time to wait.
Agreed.
All right. So, gathering the reagents that you had found within the halls of this chapel, you begin to prepare for your ceremony to cast the Hallow. Well, Cal, you look around for a good area and begin to barricade and fortify yourselves. During this hour plus it took you to find and get these items, Duran, King, you two have already landed back into the hall of the dining hall, landing next to the windows that you had flown through, and notice it's just Horatio in there with Syl.
So, what do you guys think we should do as our plan of action once we get back to Frostmoor?
Oh, and where's the short one?
Glem, looking around, you see Glem is nowhere to be seen. During the chaos, he might have walked out, you're not sure.
Where are the others?
Horatio walks up to you and says, they stepped looking for something, I'm not entirely sure. They went out that way if you want to find them. I'm worried about the daimyo and everyone at Frostmoor. It looked pretty bad. Everything was aflame.
I'll try and get us there as quickly and safely as possible. I'm sorry, I don't have the ability right now.
If only we can do what Genju did. It seems like an emergency. If only we can get word to open up a scar. I don't know.
I don't know how. Maybe Ren could do it, but I don't know if she's caught up in the chaos too, and I have no way of contacting her. And if Hootie's there, I don't know if you'll be able to communicate with him. I think you can only see through him, right? How could we even send a message?
I don't know. Hootie's too far. I can summon him back here again, but then it'll take him all that time to fly back.
I think we're sort of stuck in a rock and a hard place. I think we'll just have to spend the night and travel first thing in the morning. Do you happen to have any chalk?
I have a little bit of that chalk that we found in the dungeon before while we were traveling down the void. A couple pieces left.
No, I don't think that's applicable right now. That's special chalk. Do you have any other chalk?
No.
Or potentially seashells?
No.
When you were in the library, did you see, or did you come across an alchemy lab?
I'm sorry I didn't. All I did was get up and read something that, I'm still processing.
Okay, well, I think we should regroup, or someone needs to keep watch, I guess, from the top. You said the others went that way? I think I heard Minako talking about a temple. They probably went to see if there's some chapel within the building. Duran also gave me a really good idea earlier, and I'll look towards him with a smile, and I'll say, I think that I'll pause for a second and sort of cock my head towards Horatio and say, I know it's hard for you to have faith and pray to gods, but in these times, I think that it might be easier or nice to ask for help. And I don't know, just something within me tells me the more people that call or ask together makes the chance of something happening more likely. I was hoping that we all could possibly just pray for a little bit this evening to whomever, if you'd be willing to join us. Not right now, in a little bit after we regroup and see what the others are doing.
This is fine. I pray to the Platinum Dragon. Maybe he'll do something, though I doubt it. The gods, they are fickle. Duran, you seem to have unlocked something in the battle before. It felt sort of like what Genju did. This vagary they were talking about. Maybe can you do what he did again and maybe make a pathway to Frostmoor?
I'd not even thought of that.
I don't know, just a thought.
How would I even focus on those energies? Maybe you can guide me.
Well, I do remember the steps that Genju made. Precisely, in fact. It's dangerous and it may not work, but I can try to talk you through it. See if you can invoke whatever energy you did when you fought Deja Vu. You flew, no, you stepped on the air. And what kind of power was that? How did you unlock it? He starts to take out a quill and a little notebook and begin to start writing down, looking at you intently.
I do not know. All I knew is that I wanted to save and protect everyone, and that Deja Vu had made themselves our enemy. And while I was moving, I felt a lightness and an energy, and these words came to me.
Interesting. It's worth a shot. Although, I don't know what dangers it might pose, so I think we should make it a group decision before we try magic, or it's not magic, whatever it is, delving into something that we don't know much of. But
Then let's go. Let's look for the others.
right, let's see if we can find this chapel. And Clem, I haven't seen him since. When I looked into Hootie, I was so concerned about what happened with the daimyo and Doramo, I didn't even think to keep an eye on him. We should probably find him too.
Glam!
No response after waiting a few seconds.
Okay, let's just keep going. And every now and again, as we're walking through the hallway, I'll be like, Cal! Minako! Cal!
I think they're calling.
Yeah. King, we're down here. We're down by the entrance.
Oh, I heard him, guys. Let's go. And then I'll go towards where I heard their voice.
Okay. Doesn't take you much time at all to make it down the hallways. The sound echoing, and you're pinpointing the call of his voice until you finally found a tall wooden doorway leading to the chapel with the pews and the stained glass windows. At the edge of it, you see Minako and Cal gathering reagents and performing something you're not sure of at this moment.
We fortified the outside of the building with brambles. I think that we should be covered if they come by foot, or at least given fair warning.
Oh, it's still good to have the door jammed
What have
up.
you found here?
Well, I've just been taking a few tables and flipping them on their side and putting them in front of the door to kind of prevent the doors from being opened quickly. Some weight behind them. Minako started a spell, a ritual. She would love to hallow this place, but it's going to take some time.
I think that's a good idea. We could potentially cleanse the darkness from this place.
Minako is just finishing up lighting some candles in the corner of the chapel. She comes over and says, King, is everything... Is there any word?
I did not get word. Duran and I were outside fortifying the building, and then when we spoke with Horatio, he said he still sees the same. Well, you're here, Horatio, and I'll point to Horatio, who's here too, and I'll say, he still sees the same thing. Nothing has changed since. But we sort of had an idea if we wanted to talk about it.
Oh, sure. What's up?
Horatio thinks that somehow Duran was able to unlock his vagary, or start to, maybe? And
When he was fighting Deja Vu, he walked on the air.
yeah, but I think there's more to it. I don't know. I think that there's something more that we just don't understand yet. But Horatio said that he, with his keen mind, remembers the exact step sequence that Genji made to open the scar. We could risk that if we wish to hurry tonight, or we could still try my method tomorrow, but we wanted to have a group discussion before we made any decisions.
You think we should try to make a scar ourselves?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It seems so... It always seemed so beyond what we could do. I never even considered. But if he thinks we could try it, we can't just stick around here and wait. There's people need us. The daimyo needs us.
I understand, and I agree that people need us and we need to act quickly, but what state are we in? Are we going to rush into our death? We have to consider more than speed here.
You're right. I was going to take a great deal of time to hallow this place, but if we're planning on leaving faster than I could finish the spell, then maybe it's better if we figure this out.
How long does it take?
I would have to forgo sleeping.
I don't want you to be exhausted in the morning, though. I could potentially get us out at first light.
Very well. Perhaps we should store these.
Was there any supplies that you found in this temple? Or did you potentially find any chalk? Or do you have any seashells?
Did we happen to find any chalk or seashells?
I don't specifically remember us finding any, but there may be some in the other closet where the cleaning supplies were, and there's still 2 other doors. So there may even be like an office type thing that has like a chalkboard with chalk and tomes, religious tomes or something. We didn't check the other 2 doors.
Oh, yes, what a good idea. In the library, there must be chalkboards.
Well, check the 2 doors right here in the chapel.
Okay, I'll start, looking around, investigating to see if I can find any chalk.
Okay, you look around and spend a little bit of time inside of the chapel. Unfortunately, during during the few minutes that you took to look around, you did not find any type of chalk or seashells or anything you can crush into dust within this chapel.
Nothing here, guys. I think my best bet is the library.
Horatio, did you see any chalk when you were in the library?
I didn't bother to look. I came across something else.
Is everything okay?
Yeah, I just need... I'll explain it later. We have more pressing things to take care of.
Well, all right, but let us know if there's anything you need. You look stressed.
I'll be fine.
Distressed.
I'll be fine, thanks, Cal.
All right. I guess I could go with you, King, if you want to go back to the library to look for some chalk. I think the front doors are now heavily barricaded.
Sure.
And
I have this feeling. I feel how magic works, and I understand it in a different way than Horatio does. And I recall that there is a component of this magic that requires a foundation, and I believe it is in the calcium within the chalk. And I do not want to be unable to get us where we need to go tomorrow. So that is my biggest concern right now. I might be able to have a substitute material, but I just don't want to add more variables into this mix.
well, there may be some lime in the cleaning supply closet from that chapel. Would that work?
As long as there's a calcium base and it's a chalk-like substance, I'm sure it would suffice.
So, Liberators, what are you doing next? You're all within the chapel right now. Monaco, you have your items for the ritual summoning, though. After reading Hallow, you need 1,000 gold pieces worth of that. I would say that there's not that much.
Not that much. Okay.
Much
So she'll just do some prayers and then talk to Horatio about what his plans were. He remembered the exact steps.
You go up to Horatio and start mentioning his plan. He replies, well, I did see the steps that Genju had done to open up the portal to Frostmoor. I thought it was interesting and made sure I kept it, and I do have quite the keen mind. I thought that maybe if I instructed Duran, and maybe if you or Cal could help, he made these, well, now I know it's infernal inscriptions as he danced around, so maybe you can help with the design of it, and I'll talk him through the steps, and he can channel this energy of the vagary that he was able to tap into before. Maybe that will open up a scar, but it's forbidden, as we know. Don't want to make anything worse than it already is. It's a risk, but is it a risk we should take?
Let's see what I can decipher from text. And I would like to read the Infernal.
Horatio turns to you and says, I will see if I can recreate it, and then you can translate. Hold on. I'm going to roll for him at advantage. Intelligence check, see if he can. Okay. So he takes a writing utensil that he has, what he always used to write his notes, and opens up a blank page into his book. He then writes all the symbols, all 8 of the symbols that he remembers Genju making in the snow when he did his dance to open up the scar, and shows it to you, and it's legible.
All right. And what do those characters make when...
So when placed together and reading it from left to right in the order that he had wrote it in, you see it says a combination of tear into Frostmoor in Infernal.
Oh, this seems fairly upfront. I think the magic really lies in the steps. Can you remember if there was any order to his steps?
Well, he moved in this direction and begins drawing it out. Let's roll a performance check, see how well he draws it. Oh, pretty good. 17. He begins to kind of draw out a little bit like the dance steps, almost like a map showing the direction that he went into. And then he draws circles around when he spins around, when Genju had spun around. And it says, he went in this order here, starting with, and then he points to the symbol that you have for tear. And it's not a complete sentence, just making sense of the symbols that you put down. You can translate it into tear into Frostmoor. And like it's each of them has the symbol for frost, the symbol for moor, things like that. And he begins to circle around and say, he went to this direction here during this symbol here, and he points to the 6th symbol, and then continues in that fashion. And then after that, he opened up the portal, the scar.
Okay, well, this sounds like we could try it. Minako, do you want to be the first?
What? Well, I thought Duran would do it. We were just going to, but I just thought if something did happen, we should all be there.
Oh, of course. Duran, if you want to be the first to go, that's fine. I could also give it a try, understanding Infernal.
There's no time for hesitation, but I cannot read the Infernals, so if you can guide me, I will do my best to open this.
Here, why don't I try it first, and then you can watch how I take these steps, and then try to mimic it.
I don't think that we should do it separately. I think that we should try and do it together. And I was unsure of this myself, but I don't know, maybe it's worth mentioning. When we had the double miracle of creating the Heaven's Root bush, and then the next morning we created the dew, and we had the lake of dew, and I remember just reveling in joy and dancing on the lake and feeling happy, and there was this sensation in my mind that I've never felt before. And I don't know, I remember reveling so happy, and I was just so filled with joy and energy, and I started to dance with Minako, and then we stopped and I lost it. So I don't know how to make heads or tail of it, but if it's this same feeling that Duran is getting, maybe the three of us together can unlock this scar.
Well, give it a try. I'll help.
I just think that there's one more point of caution before we start. Are we in fighting condition? Are we ready to give our all if we step into a war scene? I am not completely spent, but I am not at my best. And I look around to the group to see how everyone feels.
I don't want to waste any time.
I feel the same. I wish to hurry, but if we rush there and die, we do no good for anyone. It was just a thought. It was just a thought. And I'll look down in shame, now believing that my companions think I'm a coward.
No, your idea is right. We must be prudent. If we run into it, even when I was with Galdrum, and where we were met with Doramu, he had shown us the power of these shards. It was something far greater than anything we've ever experienced.
I mean, I am pretty tired. I don't have much left inside to help magically.
Did we happen to find living quarters while we were examining?
Yes, you did find, when you were going through doors trying to get into the chapel, you see several different bedding areas.
Let's get some rest, and we'll leave first thing. Or we'll start this ritual first thing, King.
So, Horatio, and I look at him and I'm super serious. Is the daimyo dead?
I've been going in and out of Hooty, and they seem to have put the fires out, but it's chaos. They've picked up the body and brought him into a room. I don't know past that. I can't get in there.
I look to the rest of the group and I will say, I am manifesting new abilities, and when I pray to Myliki and Nyx, each day I have the ability to call for a new blessing, and I was going to ask for the way to get us there this evening, but I can ask them for the ability to raise our allies and bring back those who were taken from us. Should I get that instead, or should I take the teleportation as a backup in case the dance fails? I need counsel.
I think there's no time to wait. If there are people there in Shivrin fighting right now, fighting fires, trying to save lives, the only right thing we can do is be there with them to help. I can't imagine that they would still be there when they've already gotten their prize.
So, what are you guys going to do?
I just start to sniffle, and I'll just say, I'm sorry, I'm not strong enough.
Duran is gonna kind of hug King. But as you told me, cousin, we are strong enough together.
I believe we can overcome this great evil. But as I said, we must be smart. And I'll wipe a tear from my eye. And I'll say, we need to decide. Are we going or are we staying? I vote stay for the night, go first thing in the morning. And I put my hand up.
Cal raises his hand.
Minako looks a little concerned for a second, but then...
Duran also raises his hand with a bit of resistance.
It hurts, but it is the right thing to do. It is prudent. Let us make any preparations tonight, now that it has been decided.
Horatio turns and says, "Oh, that is a smart thing to do, but just realize If we don't go there now, or try to get there now, then we may not be able to aid the daimyo in any way. I don't know if he's dead, but he's definitely in bad shape. As long as we're willing to accept that responsibility, then yes, we should stay.
I do not wish to dismiss your feelings, Horatio, but it is not our responsibility in general. We are
You
not.
can't leave him.
I wish to aid them and fight back this evil, but if the daimyo has fallen, it is not our fault. We did not cause it. And I wish to aid them, but
But didn't we? Rachel steps up. Didn't we cause it? Didn't we fuel this with Doramo and the warband? I think we've involved ourselves much more than you think. Not to mention Cal and Minako. This is their daimyo, not ours.
we are not the ones with the evil intentions. We did not choose to take the shard. And I am sorry, I do not mean to be callous. And I look towards Cal and Minako, and I bow. And I'm sorry, I did not mean to be so rude. The daimyo has been quite nice and generous to us, and I wish to aid him. I just fear we are not ready, and if we dive into something worse, we will just simply throw our chance away.
King, you don't understand that he's not just a leader. He's almost like family to. I can't just sit around and let him die. Not when we can get there and do something.
So then why did you vote to stay?
I just want to know what's right. I just want to do what's right. Why are we... Duran even said that there's no way that they're going to be there anyway. So we're not going to go run to our deaths. We have to put out fires, and if he's going to die, you're just going to...
No, I do not want to just leave him. And that is why I said I was preparing for the worst. Fine, let us prepare to go tonight then.
All right.
DM,
Yes.
I would like to go to that supply closet where all the cleaning supplies were and look for any lime
Okay.
that may be there as a cleaning supply.
All right, you walk on over towards the closet. You guys didn't pick up any of the stuff, so it's still swirled around there. And so you push the brooms and the mops aside and look deeper within the closet. In there, you see strange vials of different chemicals. You open them up and smell, and they're strong. Definitely smell like cleaning chemicals. In the back corner of the closet on the shelf, the top shelf, you see, yes, a small block of lime used for cleaning.
I would like to take that, and I look over to Minako and say, do you still have the vials of holy water? Did you use them all?
Yes, we still have...
Can I have one of them, please?
She'll shuffle over to where she put them. Bring over.
All right. I want to start drawing out the infernal symbols and put them within a large circle with the lime. I'm going to scrape it along the floor.
Okay. You can easily find a nice big area in the middle between the two sets of pews where you can draw a said circle of each symbol. Roll me a performance check. See how well you draw these symbols.
Oh, God. Why me?
You draw them. Your penmanship isn't the greatest at this point. So although they're legible and you can see, you can make them out. They're kind of swaggly here. Probably more like childlike in the writing. Lime is really slippery at this point. I guess this was covered in some gunk. You're not sure.
If I spend an extra 15 minutes or hour, however long, if I add half the time that it would take to do this, can I make sure that they are exactly how they're supposed to be?
Yeah, so you can
Okay.
spend some extra time to make them perfect.
Yeah, I'd like to make sure that they're perfect and spend extra time doing it
Okay.
if I have to.
Okay, so you take
'Cause I did
another
roll poorly.
15 minutes or so because you're drawing them pretty big and they're pretty intricate even though you're used to the language. It's a
Mhm.
very scriptive language, but you all see Cal make a large circle of these symbols in Infernal.
What are you doing, Cal?
I'm getting this ritual ready.
Oh, you understand the components of it. Oh, good.
Well, Horatio went over the steps and drew them out, and I can read the Infernal very clearly. It honestly just says tear into Frostmoor. And I think if I combine those steps, we should be able to dance away into a scar.
Dungeon Master, while we're getting prepared for all this, can Duran be studying over the steps that Horatio gave and trying to kind of practice them out?
Yeah, so this entire thing's happening about half an hour or so for Cal to draw it erase it and draw it again more intricately. Half an hour, 45 minutes. And at this point, Horatio comes over and begins going over the steps. He's not very good at doing them himself, but he's very good at explaining it to you. And you've learned a lot from Horatio. So his style of teaching comes easy for you. He goes up, so you want to move your hand this way, up 45-degree angle, holding out your left hand parallel to it. And then moving your feet, he sort of glided around, shaping this infernal symbol with his feet. And he goes over each step that he saw Genju do. Roll me a performance check as you're practicing with him.
If the performance is kind of like the stroking of a pen and the way he's moving, I also have I'm also trained in the Artisan Tools calligraphy set. Does that apply to your assistant in any way?
Since calligraphy is the style that Cal is writing the Infernal, and that's how it was seen in the snow, so Genji was able to make calligraphy with his feet, I will give you you can add your proficiency bonus to this roll as well. So 12. It's tough understanding the intricacies of the dance just through Horatio's hand movements, drawings, and his explanation, but you're understanding it a little bit. You don't know how well you'll be able to perform under the pressure of doing it, but you're getting a good grasp of it.
While that's going on, Minako just sort of stands on the sideline watching Duran do it, and she kind of offers some assistance to a degree. She's sort of muttering prayers to Nyx the whole time.
I'm gonna walk over to Minako and say, I know that Duran is the one most suited to open the actual scar, but I think that there's something there that we can potentially coax out, and I think that maybe we can help him, or at least channel the energy in a way for him. Do you want to aid him and dance around like we did the Heavens Do?
Is this your way of asking?
I'll shyly look down and say, maybe, yes.
She'll hold out her hand.
I'll say, let's practice, and then I'll dance with Minako.
Okay, so you both begin dancing around. What purpose or what energy are you trying to, let me phrase this, what are you trying to accomplish throughout your dance?
This specific dance, I don't want to channel energy because we're not ready to do anything yet. I just want to practice fluidity and movement and sort of try and put myself in a similar joyous state of mind. And I'll even sort of say that to Minako and say, let's remember the miracles we've created and all of the good we put into this world. And there's a stupid saying, it's always darkest before the dawn. And I think that the dawn is coming. Let's just be happy and dance. And I'll swirl her around. And if we aid him, we aid him. And I think we can.
It feels silly, but if you think that'll do it, let's give it our all.
And then we'll just go.
Okay, roll me a performance check. I will say both of you roll me a performance check. All right, 22 and 20. So, King Minako, you begin dancing, feeling just embracing the movements within, and begin to dance around the halls of the chapel. In and out, you step between the stained glass windows and shine different colors upon you. And all those who are looking on, who kind of will say that Cal, Horatio, you kind of look over, breaking in between when you're writing your symbols and see them. And it's very beautiful, this waltz-like step that they're making. And they're going in and out of the shadows and in and out of the colored halls, the colored reflection of the stained glass windows. And for a moment, you both begin to feel something rise up within. It's fleeting, and since you're not putting any type of energy into it, it's not essentially rising up, but you do feel a similar sensation from when Minako, you had made your prayers to build the Heaven's Root Tree, and King, when you started to dance with glee around the lake of dew that you had created with your allies. And at the end of this waltz and dance, you are tired as it took a lot of energy out of you, but there's a feeling of comfort and nostalgia that comes upon you. And this feeling doesn't go away. It sticks to you, not in the back of your head, more so in the pit of your soul.
I feel good. I feel like we can do this, don't you? That was so much fun.
I know. I just didn't think that. I didn't think it could feel that way after all.
Of course, it's within us. It's always been. Don't forget it.
Thanks for sharing that.
A pleasure. And then I'll bow and I'll say, I think we can do this. Let's see if Duran or Cal needs help. I think we got this. And I'll give her a wink. And then I'll walk over to Duran and Horatio practicing. Is there some way that we can aid you? I'll say to Duran, tap into your elven heritage. I know that even in your warband, grace and fluidity is still held in high esteem. Remember when you were young and they taught you specific movements? Use that.
Oh, Duran, you should put your foot like this. There you go.
Duran's going to try to incorporate the bits of advice they're giving him while trying to move in the fashion, make his movements like calligraphy brush strokes, and match whatever instruction Horatio is giving him as well. These are a lot of instructions.
Horatio turns to you and says, I know it's a lot, but you are talented and skilled, and you have potential inside of you. I know you can do this.
When Genji opened the scar, he was deeply wounded by it. Do you think it'll be safe for me? No, that doesn't matter. We have to help the people.
You bring up a good point. That's what I was talking about. The dangers that can happen. It's a risk. Although I feel that we need to check up on the daimyo. I don't want to put us in danger. Not from what's going to be there. I haven't seen any type of monsters or anything there, any battle, but I'm worried about what happened to him could happen to you.
Please, Duran.
Looking at Monako, the kind of the desperation and just the deep held want in her heart, you can see in her eyes that all those hopes are resting on him right now. Monako, I will not let you, the daimyo, or anyone else down ever again.
Horatio turns to you and says, if there's any consolation, respite, I think Genju got what happened to him because of what happened with Enceladus. I mean, this place is crawling with the same dark energy, that chaos energy. So I don't know if it will happen, but we were all under Enceladus's curse, so maybe it won't happen? I don't know.
I believe the chaos energy may have had something to do with it as well, was it, Horatio? As I started moving with my blade faster and faster, I started to feel myself more in tune with this new energy. Perhaps the energy of the and the chaos is related. Maybe the dancers and the demons are similar.
Maybe you should incorporate blade swings in these steps. If it's chaotic nature, then this blade surely will have some effect. I don't know. Just a thought.
I agree. And then eventually we're going to have to find out more about vagaries and demon dancers. We're just flying blind here, tapping into forces we know nothing of. Knowledge is power, and we're lacking that. I was hoping we can get it from Deja Vu, but, well, we know where that went.
It apparently went the same place as Glem.
I still don't know if we can blame him for all this.
I don't think we can blame him, but I don't think that he was innocent.
Where is Glem? Has anyone seen him?
No.
Not since dinner.
I mean, we can't just leave him here. It's dangerous.
You're right. Come on. And then Monako kind of gesture at no one in particular. Begin the search for Glenn.
I'll stay here. Duran, I have a lot more to go over. I want to make sure these steps are alright.
I'll go with you.
Thanks, Cal.
Good luck. I will make this dance one worthy of the daimyo.
Alright, so, Cal, Monako, you head off. Everyone else continued and helped with the preparations of the teleportation. Roll me an investigation check. Monako at advantage. 14, okay. Begin looking through the doors on the first floor, and then heading up the staircase to the next floor, and then continuing your way up, not finding any signs of Glem. But looking down the ground, you do see tiny footsteps leading all the way up to the top where you were before when you fought Deja Vu. Following that and passing the statue of Eros, Erebus, and Gaia, you open up those familiar doors that you had went through before, and sitting at the opening that was on atop this tower, looking out into the horizon, you see Glem kind of sitting down, his arms around his knees as they're tucked into his chest.
Glem, are you okay?
Sorry, I just need to get away from the chaos. No pun intended. I just can't take all this in. It's pretty intense.
Come on, it's not good to be around. He feels too much like them. I'll hook you up with some of this good stuff. Come on.
Also, Glem, you should be aware of what's happening with the daimyo. Monako, we can't not tell him.
The daimyo's going to be okay.
You're right, but things have happened in Frostmourne. And Glem, this is why we were looking for you. We're going to attempt to get back there a little bit faster.
We can't leave you here, so come on.
All right, sorry. Thanks again for the meal. I just had to get out of there once everyone started acting all crazy, and the whole thing with Deja just reminded me of Ray. I just needed to just use my fleet feet and get out there. Yeah, I'll join you. I know you guys are wizards and casters and all types of magic, so I'm sure you have some way to get us there. I hope the daimyo's okay. I don't understand anything that's going on. Queen Camilla has to find out about this immediately. As soon as we get back, I have to head to Fia.
You're right. She does have to know. It's important that that you come with us and everyone gets to.
Yeah, I'm just a messenger for the adjudicators. I do things for them here and there, like travel and ferry over items, like what we brought over in the caravan. I don't know if I'll be able to speak to her immediately, but I do have contacts in Fia. Yeah, this is crazy. And if you said something happened to the Daimyo's Queen Camilla's right-hand man. Oh, this is crazy. I mean, she must know. I'm sure they probably already said, oh, this is bad. Oh, this is bad.
It's going to be okay. That's why we're leaving now.
Good call. I'm sorry, guys. You guys have been kind to me, and I was a bit of an asshole. And then that whole thing with, I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't work for Deja Vu. I was just so confused, and I was scared. And he gets up and begins to walk on over to you. You hear the tiny pitter-patter of his feet across the hallway.
It's okay. We all get.
And you're still here, and that means something. So, come on. Get you something to eat, and then we'll join the rest of the crew.
I'm fine. I ate Monaco's food before.
Oh,
Great.
Then let's just head down with the rest of the crew.
All right. And he heads down with you, going back down the stairs. Let's say this probably took about the getting up there and coming back down and the little chat, about 20 minutes. Make your way down the stairs, passing the statues and the artwork, going to the chapel where you see the rest of everyone practicing and getting the steps ready. You walk through the doorway, witness the stained glass windows once again. Duran, at this point, Horatio turns to you and says, I think I've taught you everything I could. All that's left now is for you to, well, perform the dance. I have the utmost faith in you.
I am ready, Wizard Horatio, for whatever comes after this.
King, could you grant a blessing to Duran to aid him?
Absolutely. I will walk over to Duran, and I will put my hands on his shoulders, look him in the eyes, and I will say, Myliki guides you and blesses you in this endeavor. And now also, the goddess of Nyx, I extend my blanket from myself to you, and I'll do like a motion to indicate, like wash my hands over his shoulders and down his arms, like where a cape would flow, and I will call forth the guidance spell as I do so, and grant him that blessing.
Okay. So Duran, you feel the blessing of Myliki come upon you, the evergreen sensation that you're so used to as King has healed you several times, and you feel anointed, closer to the grace of the gods, and a little bit more confident that you'll be able to perform this movement.
And then I'll say, you totally got this, and Minako and I are going to try and aid you. You're not in this alone. Remember, we're stronger together.
We are stronger together. Duran repeats, looking into your eyes.
I'll nod, and then I'll say, has everyone made preparations? Should we try this for real now?
Let's do it.
And then I will get in position around the markings that Cal set up for us and wait for Duran to lead us.
Duran is going to pull out his magnetic blade and kind of spin it around his head. Like it's like his palm over his head, spinning the blade on his palm. And then he grasps it in the handle in the middle and then tries to begin the dance.
Horatio will twiddle his fingers around and kind of blow on the fingertips as they begin to spark up. And as he does, he releases several light blobs that seem to dance around you as well, guiding you in the movements that he had explained to you.
I'll nod to Minako, and we'll start dancing in tandem around him in a concentric circle larger.
Minako is on the other side of King, joining.
Duran is kind of letting all these different energies flow through his body and remind him that he's not alone. In his mind, he just has the image of the falling daimyo and the face of Doramo.
I'm clinging to the energy I just unlocked a moment ago with Minako and trying to delve deeper into that feeling, as well as picturing the city of Frostmoor aflame, and tears start to run down my face as I dance and think of these things and wish for power and the ability to protect my friends and family.
All right. You see coming throughout the doors after a moment of absence, Syl as well. And he goes, I'm sorry I'm late. I was handling some things.
Syl, you're just here in time to see the dance.
Right. And he kind of steps up and goes next to Cal.
I'm actually going to say a prayer to Nyx and Glenvor as this is happening.
Okay, so you start to make a prayer. Duran, Minako, and King, you begin to start the dance. So Duran, you start to follow the globules that Horatio has created and begin to make the motion and step into it. And then you all start to dance around. Thinking of the energy of your cloud vagary that was within you, you begin to make your first movement, and you slowly start to hover over the ground and take your first step. Roll me a performance check at advantage. Okay. 12. You begin to move your, start off with the movements, and you make the first turn around, spinning your blade with it, creating the first infernal symbol onto it. It's a little crooked and not exact, but not wanting to miss the beat, you just go on forward and start making the second symbol, dancing around, spinning. Go ahead and roll another performance check at advantage as well. 20. Okay. This time, not skipping a beat and focusing stronger, you create the second symbol. It comes off pristine, and Horatio looks on with glee and continues moving the dancing lights, helping you create this infernal dance. Go ahead and make your third performance check at advantage.
Galdrum, I won't let you down.
Natural 20. 22. At this point, you begin to ascend slightly, so you're about a foot off the ground, but as you move around, your steps continue to move in the motion of the arc of the infernal symbol. Beneath you, and the first, second, and now the third symbol begin to glow. So, zoom, zoom, zoom.
It's working.
You go ahead and continue moving forward to the fourth symbol, creating it as you walk and dance around, spinning the blade. You all can, at this point, hear the humming of the blade, as it, at this point, has reached maximum momentum as it spins faster and faster. Go ahead and make me another performance check at advantage. 19. Brilliant. The four symbols completed with pristine accuracy. At this point, the dance is part of you. You understand exactly what to do. All you can think of in your head, the image, all you see are clouds and a gust of wind blowing internally inside of you. Everything else is silent, and all you hear is just wind in your mind as you complete the next formation. King, Minako, roll me performance checks at advantage. All right. As you start to dance around, not doing the same motions that he's doing, but still dancing, coming from your feet, both of your sets of feet, it's a strange combination of tan colored energy with light blue energy swirling around, coming from both of you. And they coalesce around you before then going to Duran and then further heightening his steps. The stained glass windows on the sides, they begin to shake and shudder. You're not sure if it's from the dance or from the Duran's blade whizzing at this point, like a large fan spinning. You all can hear it. All you hear is going from it. Duran, make me another at advantage performance check.
My mind is focused on Frostmoor. Return us back, where those who are waiting need us.
All right, an 18. So Duran, you move your feet in the motion of the last infernal symbol, remembering it in your mind's eye, and you perfectly execute it. At this point, the wind in the area has gotten to the point where you're all starting to feel it. King, Minako, you stop your dance because at this point the wind is blowing at you strongly. You put your hands up to block it from your face, but it's too strong. You all start to get swept up, and you're like, ah, ah! And all of you in the room, even Glenn is like, ah! As Duran completes the final dance motion, lifting his blade up, slashing, you just see, and a giant vortex starts to pull you all in. One by one, you like, as you hear the stained glass windows all shatter and fall into the ground as in a blink of an eye, you all disappear. On the other side, inside a smoky garden that's full of snow, and the Temple of Nyx in the background, a gigantic rip is seen into the air. Several demon dancers who are about doing some cleanup work stop and turn, and you hear, and they're like, what? And immediately the scar is ripped open, and you all start to fall out. All of you falling down prone, except for Duran, who's still dancing in the air, not falling into the ground flat.
Ah!
Ah!
We did it! You did it!
Can Duran make an acrobatics check to land like a badass?
Sure, you can do it advantage.
Superhero pose.
14. Duran, you come to and release your concentration on the dance, and find yourself falling down. You barely manage to catch yourself, and you don't take any fall damage, but you do land hard, but on your feet. You see several tieflings with different types of armor and swords that they're holding on to as they see in the back, and you all see behind you this crack in space and time as it's open and just blackness inside of it. And with that, we will take a break.
Good job, Dope.
Oh, that was so fucking metal.
Yes, it was.
Hey there, Dungeon Delvers. Thank you for listening. I would like to take this time to thank all of the wonderful people who helped bring Descent into the Void, a tale of D20s to life, starting with Frank Freire, who designed our character art, Kyle Misko, who collaborated on the main, mystical, and night theme songs, Manuel Lapuca, who collaborated on our battle and adventuring theme song, Jan Rosa for the use of their original soundtracks, David Chappell for the use of his End of Silence, A World of Color soundtrack, MFY for the use of their Dragon Castle Symphony for Duran's theme song, and Danny.Phantom.01 for creating the Liberators' full art. You can find more about these wonderful artists on our website, ataleofd20s.com. Now click on to part 2, and let's continue our epic tale.